Black Panther 2 was leagues better than Thor 4. I never got to talk about it, I got busy, but we're giving Thor Love and Thunder a 2 out of 10. Anyways, Black Panther 2 was quite fun. I'll start this one off by addressing the plot of this movie was a lot more thoughtful than the first Black Panther. I had a big issue with the last one being is that it's literally just the live-action Lion King before the live-action Lion King. It's very cheap and slow and predictable. There's too many characters who don't get enough focus, and the VFX.
This is disgusting. This is awful in every way. If I could kill it, I would. But I legally can't.
The best thing about that movie was the world building, Killmonger, and the cultural representation. But this movie still has some of those issues. I found the screenwriting had a lot more thought put into it. It's still following the Marvel formula, but instead of adapting someone else's work, this feels slightly more original. Every action scene felt really well placed. There's not extra action scenes to keep anyone's attention, which I can say is almost called for in parts because the pacing was really not doing it for me. I found the first 40 minutes of this movie to be really quite slow. Throughout the movie, there's a lot of jumping around to different plot threads, and it creates a disjointed feeling sometimes for the viewer of just wanting to jump back to this location so we can work on this plot that I want to see, which makes any other part of the story not flow as good when all you want to do is just see what's going on elsewhere. I don't believe this movie had to be nearly 3 hours of spending time with a whole lot of characters who sometimes work. The plot definitely could have been worked on and maybe trim the edges to make it not 3 hours. I'll give them this though, not a dull performance. Every character who we spend any amount of time with is doing a fantastic job. Some characters get more emotional moments in the movie given the passing of their king, which almost created a blurred line between if it was the audience seeing is this Angela Bassett's emotions towards Chadwick Boseman passing or the Queen's emotions towards T'Challa passing. This never took me out of the experience, but I would say rather enhanced the emotional center of the scene. Also, I found the stuff with Ironheart to be really exciting for me. I don't believe it's a spoiler that she's in the movie. I think she was in a trailer, and Google's definitely not trying to hide it because she's included on the cast list, so I think it's legal to talk about it. Anyway, seeing any new Stark tech in our new MCU was very nostalgic for me, given that we haven't seen an Iron Man suit in quite some time, so it's safe to say I was very excited anytime I heard any old repulsor sound effects or simply just seeing someone fly around in an iron suit. While we're on the topic of characters, I want to take a moment to talk about Namour. I often find in the MCU that the villains are usually hit or miss, but something this movie and the first Black Panther have in common is that the villains slap. His performance was really good, his motives are believable, and you almost want to side with him. Everyone knows that the key to a good villain is to be exposed to their motive and sort of agree with it. It offers a confliction in the viewers between what is right and wrong. Namour and his people were very threatening and menacing. They have a lot of neat abilities and their fight style was very cool to watch. There's a really cool segment in the film in which Namour's backstory is explored for like 5 minutes. I just really like that part. I thought it was really well done. Lastly, anytime his warriors were on screen or the not Atlantis place he lives in shows up, the music takes really strange and a cool turn. There's like a lot of unique percussion and some like tech sounds. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like on the same level as how the music from Wakanda perfectly sets the stage for Wakanda. Anyways, this movie has a lot of heart. The emotional focus is mainly amplified by the real life passing of Chadwick Boseman. We see many characters process grief and sometimes with vengeance. Shuri's arc in this movie is probably the main piece to take home with you. It's very nice to see internal conflicts in my superhero movie. She's the main character, and it's nice to see her try and step up to the Black Panther mantle after the events in this movie and the death of almost her entire family. The film was at its best when she was there. Her emotional quest in this film is definitely what made it worth seeing for me. This movie is funny. It's quite emotional. It's shot alright. The shots kind of just pop off when we see all the color mixing and the aerial shots. I found the costumes were great, which is no surprise given that the last movie won an Oscar for it.
Wow, I got it. Wow.
And the VFX were not Black Panther 1. If, again, there's anything to nitpick on, it's that the pacing is sort of off. Some characters don't get as much to do, which leads to some extra unnecessary stuff to cut out. And the movie is just plain predictable when it comes to dialogue and story beats. But do I recommend Black Panther 2? I got a lot out of this movie, and it's why I'm giving it a solid 7 out of 10. Please check it out to form your own opinions. Comment what you thought if you had seen it. Sub if you want to see more of me. And thanks again for watching. See you in the next one, guys. Hopefully not in 3 months from now. Sorry. Okay, take care then. Bye-bye now. And thanks for stopping for a thought. See ya.